Regan Slaymaker for International Boxing News, and I have the pleasure to be joined by the new British Bantamweight champion, Ashley Lane. Ashley, massive weekend for yourself, mate, but how are you?
I'm very, very good. I'm tired. It's been a hell of a whirlwind, since winning the title on Friday. My friends been non-stop, interviews, like loads of stuff. But overall, I'm very good. I couldn't be better.
I'm glad to hear it, mate. I was at York Hall that night. I'm annoyed I didn't get to catch up with you after the fight, but I think you were being mobbed by everyone who come down to see you. But massive win for yourself against Chris Bourke at York Hall. You've picked up the British title. You just touched on there, but how do you reflect on that massive win for yourself?
Yeah, I was the underdog. I didn't realize how much of an underdog I was, to be honest, because I genuinely thought that people would see it as a 50-50 fight. And then I couldn't believe it was the day of the fight that I saw, the bookies had me as a massive underdog. And like it kind of like shocked me, to be honest. I couldn't believe it. So, then to go in and, to be honest, do a number on him, because the first two rounds were tricky. We knew he started fast. We knew I had to start fast as well. But we didn't expect to win those first couple of rounds, because I normally take a couple to get into a fight, find my rhythm, find my range, get my time in, and break people down essentially. Um, I kind of expected to lose the first two rounds. Um, oh, apologies.
No, you're good.
Yeah, kind of like I expected to lose the first two rounds. Um, but then like from the third round onwards, I knew I was breaking him down. I knew it was all going in my favor, my way, and like that sixth round was, it just destroyed him in that sixth round, and I did. It felt to me like I put a real statement out, and I'm really happy with that. To be fair, really happy.
No, you should be, mate. I think your reflection of the fight there is similar to what I had. I think even though I had Bourke winning those first two rounds, you were still maintaining that pressure. And I thought watching it was one of those fights where it would be only a matter of time until you got to him with your pressure, and you did just that as well. I have to put it into perspective. That's two massive back-to-back wins from yourself now. One against Jordan Perkis, who was a fighter on the rise. You took his English title, and now you've taken the British title as well. Putting that all into perspective, mate, bringing those two titles. Obviously, you won the Commonwealth title previously as well, but it makes that win even special, no?
It does, I don't think it's just like um the fact that I won. I think it's in the manner of how I've won. Against Jordan Perkins, I was coming back after the Ashfaq defeat, and I've said to people, and I make no lies, the Ashfaq defeat, I wasn't even up for that fight. I only took it for the money at like 3 weeks' notice. I didn't really train for it. But I don't regret it, because that fight gave me the spark and the fire back in my belly. Um, to like come back, and that Jordan Perkins fight, it was a really crucial and high pressured fight for me, just for the pure fact that after losing the Commonwealth to Brad Foster, if I'd lost to Jordan Perkins, in my mind, I'd be seen as a one hit wonder. Like, I found my level, or I overachieved with the Commonwealth. I then lost for the English, and that was me done. I was out of it. And if I lost to Jordan Perkins, I'd have been done. I'd have been out the door. So for me to beat Jordan Perkins, drop him three times and stop him, as I was only getting stronger, to me that kind of sent out a statement that like, no, I am here. I'm at good level, and I deserve to be fighting these kids. Um, to then do the same to Chris Bourke, who I believe would beat Jordan Perkins. I think Chris Bourke is better than Perkins, and I thought it would beat him if they boxed. Um, So to do the same to Chris Bourke, but in even better fashion, against Perkins, he was pulled out by his corner from the cut. With Chris Bourke, the referee had to jump in. I mean, I was relieved of him in a garage, and I could have caused him serious damage. So to win in the manner that I did against both of those boxers, I feel like I've really sent a statement out to the bantamweight division. You know, I've got a couple of lads after me in the division, and who would want to fight me after that? Really, seriously, like if you haven't had a real good step up and challenge and fight yourself, you got to be looking at that going, that Ash Lane's a tougher fight than I thought. It would be a hard fight to beat me.
No, definitely, mate. We'll talk about those two names who I think will very nervously go into a fight with yourself next as well. One of them is Thomas Essomba. He was at York Hall on the
Yeah.
Friday night. I mean, he's got the European title as well. And then the other one, you asked me off camera. I asked Frank Warren about this. Is a bantamweight, super bantamweight signed to Frank Warren, which is Ashley Cain, Andrew Cain, sorry, as well. I mean, are those two fights that one interest you? And I imagine the one with Thomas Essomba, where he has that European title, is probably the one that kind of is most appealing to you.
Yeah, 100% the Thomas Essomba fight. I mean, I think that's an absolutely massive fight. The only way for me is up, really. Um, and I think the Thomas Essomba fight is huge. We could put the British, Commonwealth, and European all on the line together. He deserves a good payday. I deserve a good payday. And whoever wins can go on to world level, you know. Which is crazy when you think about it. 2 years ago, you would never have thought me and the son would be in this position, but here we are. And that fight is the fight that I want now. Thomas Essomba. I know that he wants it, and he knows that we want it, so it should be an easy fight to make.
No, definitely, mate. And what about that fight with obviously I know you've just said there that Thomas Essomba is kind of your main intention, but Andrew Cain obviously is a bit of a different perspective as well. He's a fighter on the rise as well. Obviously just coming off that loss to Baluta, obviously a great fighter in Baluta. Would that be a fight down the line that you'd like to look at?
I haven't seen the fight with Baluta with Andrew Cain, so I can't really talk too much about that. I don't know who he's boxed. I don't know what his record is like. I know he's a good kid. He's tough and he's strong. I think he comes forward swinging. I'm not 100% sure, so I can't really comment too much. But all I can say is he's not really on my radar. I don't know why he's won. Uh, but like, we're only looking up. If the fight gets made with Andrew Cain, I'll fight. I'm not afraid of nobody. I believe that I can be number one in this division. So if that's the fight that's made next, that's the fight I'll take, and that's the fight that I'll win. But I don't know why he's done. I don't know. I don't really know anything about him, to be fair. All I know is his name. So I would need to have a look at him first. But that's up to my team. My
Hmm.
team will pick the fights. They'll pick who I'll box. They'll have a look and they'll make the right decisions for me. I have every faith in my team that they'll get me the fights that I should be having.
Definitely. I mean, if either of those fights come up, obviously the one with Thomas Essomba, like both your stories, you touched on this, both your story and Thomas Essomba's stories. I mean, they're what boxing's all about. I think it doesn't matter how many losses you take; it matters kind of the run you're on at that current time, and you've both got some great and prestigious titles as well. So I'd like to see that fight between yourself and Thomas, obviously. But I do want to touch on this kind of the history you've made here, like a quote from Boxing News, and I mean it's quite a powerful one. After the fight, you said, "I was homeless. I was homeless a few times, suicidal, no money. It's been brutal, but here I am, the first British champion from Northampton." I mean,
Yeah.
you created history on Friday night, and also you're adding to a list of boxers from Northampton. You've got Chantel Cameron at the top. You've got yourself, British champion, and then Ben and Carl Fair on the rise as well. I mean, talk to me about how important and how kind of how powerful that speech was at the end of the fight, and also the rise of Northampton boxing in Northampton as well.
Oh, to be honest, I mean, I was just talking like just talking truth. I was just talking, I mean, how my life has been. I've been down and out. I've suffered from uh where a lot of people in this world are. The world's getting worse, or it seems like it's getting worse, and a lot of people are living in poverty. And I've spent half my life in poverty up until the last few years. Um, I have been suicidal. I used to go out drinking, and I go. I'd be driving down the road looking at walls to drive into. When I moved down to Bristol, I was going to. There was a time when my car broke down. I was on the side of the road, and I was looking at the cars driving past, and all I could think was, I'm going to walk out in front of this car. I'm going to walk out in front of that car, and just end my life because in my mind nothing could get worse. When I was down in Devon, I self-harmed, and you know, before my first stint of retirement, I was going through a stage of bulimia, making myself sick, and I had a break. This is before I won the Commonwealth. The first time I had a breakdown in the shower, and I went to Chris Bourke and said, I'm going to retire, and then they changed my mind, and I got myself back on the straight and narrow, and I won the Commonwealth. But it's, I mean, that it's just my life. To me, it's nothing too powerful. It's just like what I've been through, my experiences, and I suppose the powerful thing is when you've got people that are in a similar position to me and they see no way out, and they hear my story, and it helps them believe that they can turn themselves around and they can achieve something. Which, I mean, anybody can achieve anything in life. It doesn't matter where you are, where you come from, who you are, what you've got. You can achieve anything in life. And for me to be able to talk about that and inspire people in a similar position, that's the best thing that I can do. And then if you talk about Northampton, the Fell twins, who I know very well, shout out to Cameron and everyone else, but like you've got kids in Northampton that are just starting boxing, or that they've got nothing in their lives, and they hear about me, where I've come from, sleeping on the sofas and mattresses and in my car, and turning it all around and becoming the first British champion out of Northampton. That can really, spark some kids into having a fire in their belly and wanting to try boxing and turn their lives around and really, really make something of themselves. I mean, I remember being 15 and watching Amir Khan in the Olympics, and I think I won the silver in the Olympics and turned pro. And I looked up to Amir Khan. That was my little, I want to be like Amir Khan now. And I mean, I've only just realised a bit. Imagine like that. That's probably the position I'm in now. It could be some little 15-year-old kid, 12-year-old kid watching me saying, I want to be like Ash Lane, the first world champion to come out of Northampton. And that's amazing, man. I mean, that puts a smile on my face. It really does.
No, and it definitely should, mate. And like you said, I know it's just life to you, but I mean that the speech you've just said there, I mean, I think everyone is glad that Lane stayed in boxing and kind of is there to inspire the future generations as well. Ash, my final one, mate. If it couldn't get any better than that, the
Yeah.
final one, we ask everyone this question. You just touched on it a little bit there. We've asked everyone who's been on the channel from kind of Conor Ben to kind of Eddie Hearn to Nigel Ben. But when all's said and done, what does boxing mean to you?
If there was one word I could give boxing, it'd be a roller coaster, because there have been so many lows in boxing that, like, it's enough to like it's enough to create mental illness within you. But at the same time, those little bits of goodness, like Friday night, it's like a miracle, and that just makes it all worth it. All the down times, it makes it worth it. So boxing is like, it's like a roller coaster, and it means, you can't put into words how much it does mean. But all I know is that when I retire, it will leave a massive, massive hole in my heart. I'd have to stay in boxing. I'd have to. it's like my life.
Definitely. Well, Ash, I hope you stay in boxing for a long time, mate, and I hope you get that fight with either. Well, it doesn't matter who it is, Thomas Essomba, Andrew Cain, as long as Ashley Lane gets a big payday. I don't particularly care, to be honest. But Ash, that was my final question, mate. Is there any final words that you've got that you want to say to your fans who watch you on Friday night?
All I want to do is I just want to say thank you to everybody who came to support. Thank you to everybody who tuned in. Thank you to my sponsors, my team, and Warren Queensbury. But probably the biggest message is probably to anybody in a bad position in life. You can you can turn your life around. You can achieve anything you want. If you have a goal and a vision, it might take a long time. It took me 18 years, but you can achieve that goal and vision. You can really make something out of your life. Don't let anything or anybody ever put you down. You can achieve anything in life. This world's amazing. Go for it.
Definitely. I mean, Ashley Lane, that is the perfect place to end. Thank you again for your time today, mate. And we look forward to seeing you back in the ring.
No problem. Thank you very much.
Cheers.